Hello, 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 my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Welcome to the dinner table. My brothers and sisters, come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that you have your heart open to some of this good soul food that I'm going to present for you. It's very hot and it's very prepared for you. Not only that, I got enough food for you to invite some more family members and friends who haven't been here before. And go ahead and bring them in, my brothers and sisters. If this is your first time coming to the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationships. I speak on relationship basically from a spiritual point of view. And when I say a spiritual point of view, my position is I believe strongly that God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. He had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. He represented the woman Eve to the man Adam, and in the presence of God, the man Adam said, "Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I shall call her woman because she came from man." That's the position that I come from. Now, if you're at the dinner table and you have a different viewpoint of relationships, I still encourage you to sit down at the dinner table and get some of this good soul food because you may just learn something interesting about it. Okay, that's what you may learn. So, my brothers and sisters, when it comes to, before I say that, let me tell you what's on the menu for tonight. What's on the menu for tonight is how couples invite Satan into their relationships. Again, the topic for tonight is how couples invite Satan into their relationships. How you doing, Sister Tiara? And how you doing, Sister Pam Pam? Welcome to the dinner table. I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. If you're on the tube, I may make some comments to those on the book. You may not see it. And vice versa. If you're on the book, those you're on the tube, you may not see the comments, but I'm going to call out the person's name and say basically what they have said, okay? Because we're family here. And by the way, my brother and sister, if you want to communicate with other brothers and sisters, by all means, you can go ahead, but try to keep your conversation based on what's on the menu for tonight, okay? So if you have something to say to me or a question you need to ask, go ahead. You can ask because we'll have a small Q&A session after we finish with the dinner for tonight, okay? With that said, what's on the menu for tonight, how couples invite Satan to their relationship. When it comes to major problems in the relationships, my brother and sister, most couples will point the finger at one another, meaning the man may point the finger at the woman and think that she's the cause of the problem, or vice versa. The woman may point her finger at the man and say that he's the problem. However, the average couple do not consider that there's something deeper and more, how shall I say it? The best I could say it, invisible present. And the invisible present, I'm going to introduce you, my brother and sister, to this person, this being that will come to your relationship to wreak havoc on it. My brothers and sisters, especially you, if you are a Christian, you are primed to be attacked. You know why you're primed to be attacked? Because, my brother and sister, the Lord caused the man to find a woman. He brought the woman to the man, and the man found the woman. God doing all the lead work. God positioned the woman to be found. And then the woman, she have knowledge that God called this particular man to find her. So when God brings a couple together, guess what? There is a being that are about lying, stealing, and destroying. And I'm going to introduce you to this being. What a lot of couples do not think about is Satan himself. Satan, my brother and sister, he used to be one of the archangels in heaven. I know you have heard about Michael. I know you have heard about Gabriel, and Satan. His name used to be Lucifer, the son of light. He was over the music department in heaven, okay? Satan, my brother and sister, he was one of the most beautiful creation that God created. However, what brought him down? Pride. He wanted to take God's place, and he convinced a third of the angels to rebel against God. Satan is called he called different things. He's called the dragon. He's called different things. But when his name got changed from Lucifer to Satan, this is the problem. Satan's objective is to corrupt anything that God have created. Especially, we see evidence when he caused havoc between God and man and woman. He deceived the woman. The man knew better. The man disobeyed God with his wife, and that caused a division within the relationship. Satan did it. Adam and Eve had what is called a free will, but they chose to go Satan's way. Now, with that said, a lot of couples today, they don't realize this individual that's called Satan. My brother and sister, you have what is called a free will, but you have to be conscious that Satan will attack your relationship. Christian brothers and Christian sisters, he's coming. And guess what? He's going to continue to come. If you win a battle against Satan, all he's going to do is retreat. He never gives up. Now, let's do this appetizer. We're going to go to the book of 1 Peter 5:8. 1 Peter 5:8. 1 Peter 5:8. That's right. Sister Shara said he's called Beelzebub. That is correct. He is called Beelzebub. When we look at 1 Peter 5:8, and this go in general, okay, it said, be alert and sober-minded. Your enemy, the devil, and that's another name Satan called, the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Do you hear me, my brother and sister? This for every man and every woman. But we are condensing this down to between a man and a woman, a Christian man and a Christian woman. Listen up. Be alert and be sober-minded. Your enemy, the devil, prowl around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. My brother and sister, if you are about to get engaged or you're married and you're a Christian, he's coming. I'm letting you know now, he is coming and he doesn't give up. The only thing he do is he'll come, and if you defeat him, you can't defeat him by yourself. We're going to get to that. You can't do it by yourself, brother. Brother, you don't have enough strength, and sister, you don't have enough strength. Both of you all together don't have enough strength to go against Satan. You do not. So don't try to fight him by yourself. If you try to fight against Satan, my brother and sister, all he'll do is yawn at you. You can't compete against him. You need help. So you got to understand, he walks around like a roaring lion. What that mean, a roaring lion? That means he is surveying you. He's studying you. Brother, he is studying you. And sister, he's studying you. He's looking for a weak point to attack you, especially, my brother and sister, if you have God in the middle of your relationship. Another thing, as it is written in the book of Ephesians 6:12. Again, it's 6:12. And it's in general, but we're condensing it down to a relationship between a man and a woman. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic power over this present darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Don't you realize, my brother and sister, that there are 3 levels of heaven? You didn't know that. A lot of people, you think that you just thought that heaven was one place, right? There are 3 levels of heaven. Even Paul mentioned it. The first level is what you see where the birds fly at, my brothers and sisters. That's the first level of heaven. And the Bible doesn't call it the sky, does it? It's the first level of heaven, the sky, where you see the birds at that part of the atmosphere. That's the first level. The second level is when you see, quote unquote, those spaceships going, it turns dark, right? That's the second level. God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and the angels, they reside in the third level. That's where they are at, in the third level. So I want to let you all know right now, heaven is divided up into 3 parts. The first level where the birds fly. The second level where what you see as space, right? And then the third level, that's where the Father and the Son reside right now, because the Holy Spirit is down here with us inside our body if you have accepted him, my brothers and sisters. Now, it say against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Satan could walk around here on earth with the rest of those demons, but he rules from the heavens, not where God and Jesus is at. He's not there, but he's called the prince of the power of the air. And don't you know this, my brother and sister, Satan, he is very strategic. He has some of his demons or ex-angels controlling different parts of the world or influencing different parts of the world. Satan is very strategic. You got to learn about your enemy, my brother and sister. The world do not want you to think about Satan. They don't want you to think about it. And that's how he's able to do a lot of things that he does. 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians 2:11. It said, in order that Satan might not outwit us, we are not unaware of his scheme. Listen to it. If you're a Christian, listen. Again, in 2 Corinthians 2:11, in order that Satan might not outwit us. Thank you, Cheryl. For we are not unaware of his schemes. So Satan is a schemer. This is for every man and every woman and children, but we're condensing again to couples. You got to understand, he have a scheme. Satan is always studying you, my brother and sister. If he's not studying you, he got some of his evil angels observing you, because Satan can't be everywhere at one time like God can. But if you are really following the Lord, you're going to meet him head up. You're going to meet him. And when you meet him, Satan is the big boy. He's the big one. So he's coming. I just want you, brother and sister, to know, if you are engaged, Satan is coming. If you are married, he is coming. He's gonna knock. He don't even knock on your door. He doesn't knock on your door. The sad thing about it, my brother and sister, a lot of brothers and sisters, you open up the door for him. You willfully open up the door for Satan, just like Adam and Eve did. Adam and Eve had dominion over the world, but they gave the keys to Satan. That's why he's ruling right now over this world. When I say over the world, over the atmosphere and over the how should I say it? How this world is ran. Satan runs this world. God rules the world, but Satan running this world. but God is in control. I hope I didn't confuse some of you brothers and sisters. Satan is running this world, but God controls this world. God allows Satan to do certain things. He has to have permission, my brother and sister, to come and bother you. And don't be surprised, my brother, and don't be surprised, my sister, if God don't allow Satan to come test you. God allowed Satan to test Job, and you all know about that. Even not only that, God called out Job's name when Satan asked him. When God, the Bible say in the book of Job, that was this certain day when the sons of God met around God. That means the angels, right? And then it said, and Satan was there. So let me tell you something, my brother and sister. Even though Satan got kicked out of heaven, don't you know sometimes he goes still in front of God to get permission to do things? God asked Satan, why are you here? And now God said, where you been? He said, I've been going to and fro, up and down in the earth. You see, God already knew why he was there. That's why God said, have you considered my servant Job? And Satan said, the reason why Job served you because you got the big hedge around him. What he was actually meaning, God had protection around him. And what type of protection God mostly put around the man and woman that served him? Angels, right? God said, then he said, if I do this or that, they'll curse you. That's what he basically told God. You know what God said? God gave him a limitation. He went up to God of different times to inquire God about Job. And God let him go, but God gave him a limitation. I'm telling you now, my brother and sister, even if you were not married, God will call out your name. Because he know why Satan coming in front of him. He'll call out your name. If you're a Christian, my brother and sister, your name will be called. You're going to be tested individually and especially if you're in a relationship. Now, when a man and a woman is engaged, or when that man and woman have gotten married, you're going to have some issues. You all notice that I always say you're going to have storms. That's right, Sister Sherry Smith. He dispatches angels around his sons and daughter for their protection. That's right. God would do that. But sometimes God would cause his angels to open up and let Satan come at you. He will. That's to test you. I know some of you saying, God won't do that. Yes, he will. But you got to keep in mind, he gives Satan limitations, which leads to the main meal where we're at now, my brothers and sisters. It comes down to no respect and it comes to no love. No respect and no love. When it's a problem in a man and woman relationship, it boils down to no respect and no love. What do I always say men equate love with? Men equate love with respect. What do women equate a relationship with? Love, emotions. So men seek respect from the woman, and the woman respect love from the man. The man has to sow the seed of love into the woman to reap respect, and the woman has to sow the seed of respect into the man to reap love. Both men and women has to do this, but we have what is called the adversary, Satan. Satan know about this farming procedure. He know about the sowing of the seed and the reaping. But you see what Satan would do. You see, the Lord, he plant good seeds in a marriage, or in a before the marriage, in an engagement, and then the marriage. God plant a whole bunch of good seeds. Satan come in and he plants the tare. It appears to be good, but it's not good. And let me tell you this, some of you brothers, It's deeper than the woman that you're in a relationship with. Some of you sisters, it's deeper than the relationship that you're with the man. Some of you guys, you look at the woman as the real problem. Even though she got a free will, it's not her all the time. Sister, you look at the man as the big problem in the relationship, not all the time, even though he got a free will. Don't you know, my brother, and don't you know, my sister, if you have the spirit of God in you, Satan cannot get in you, so he can't do that, but he can influence you. How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Welcome to the dinner table. What does Satan do? Brother, sometimes when the woman that you're in a relationship with, she may say some things to you, right? Or she may do something that's messed up. You looking solely at her as doing it, even though she got a free will. A lot of times she was influenced by Satan. Sister, sometimes the man that you're in a relationship with, he may do something or say something that seemed to be out of whack, right? Even though he got a free will, he could have been influenced by Satan. You see, when a lot of what I'm talking to you, brother and sister, about tonight, when you listen to most relationship coaches and you listen to counselors and stuff, they don't tell you what I'm talking to you about. You see, men and women, you do have your own issues in a relationship and you can do your own thing, but majority of the time, you, brother, and you, sister, are being influenced by Satan. But you don't want to think about that, do you? They're just like, I'm going to tell you this, like a lot of people walk around here and they say people got mental illness. You know, the big thing that walk around, they're going around on the news and stuff, people got mental illness. What they don't want to face is a lot of people do not have mental illness. They have a devil or demons in them. You see, the world don't want to talk about that truth. Devil and demons can enter into your body. Satan entered into Judas at the Last Supper because he was open to him. Satan can get, and you see, you got to understand it, my brother. So you're going to have one or two spirits in you. You're either going to have the spirit of God in you or you're going to have the spirit of the adversary. You got to have one of the spirits in you. There's no ifs and buts about it. If you have the spirit of God, he can't get in you, but he can come around you and influence you. So when it comes to, you see, this is what happens. This is how some of you brothers, some of you sisters, you invite Satan in. You start pointing fingers at one another. You notice when you point one finger at your mate, you see how many fingers going back at you? 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of men that point fingers at their woman. And then there are a lot of women that point their fingers at their man. You're going to always have 3 coming back at you. So as of tonight, my brother and sister, you got to be very spiritual to understand what's going on around you. A lot of time, brother, Satan influenced your woman, even though she's a Christian. She may say something or do something that you think you just look at her for what she is. And then the same thing, sister, he might do something or say something, but you really think it's him. But he's been influenced by the adversary. You remember the guy named Flip Wilson a long time ago, my brother and sister. You remember Flip Wilson, right? You remember that he had that character called Geraldine. What did he used to say? The devil made me do it. The devil, you see the thing about it, my brother and sister, Satan don't make you do anything. He doesn't make you. He influences you and he brings things to your attention. He looked for a weakness, just like I said in First Peter 5:8. It said, be alert and sober-minded. The enemy, the devil, prowl around you like a roaring lion, looking for whom he can devour. Brother, when you don't be around your woman, sister, when you don't be around your man, let me give you some situation what Satan may do. Brothers, Satan may cause you to start looking at other women, but you're supposed to have a relationship with that woman at home. Sister, Satan may make you open to other men when your man is not around. It's a spiritual thing going on, my brother and sister. You can't see them. Like I always say, angels be moving around you that God assigned to you, and demons be moving around you that you don't see. Brother and sister, if we were able to see the invisible world, we would probably pass out. The real world that we don't see, the world, the invisible world, that's the real world. What we see right now, this is a temporary world. The spiritual world, that's a realer world. But the world that we in, tangible material, is real, and the spiritual world is real. But the spiritual world and the physical world, it overlaps. If you're a Christian, my brother and sister, you are in two worlds. You don't realize it. You're walking in the physical world, but you in the spiritual world. Remember that the scripture that the Lord, that's in the Bible. When the Lord pull you out of the world, it say, you're not of the world. You're in the world, but you're not of the world. You're not in the system. You understand, my brother? You're not in the system. So a man thinks that his woman is not respecting him. And that's how men equate quote unquote love. The woman don't respect him. So if the woman don't respect him, if she start talking to him like he's a little boy, and she doesn't do the thing that she's supposed to do as that woman of God, what happened? Satan sees it. Satan knows how to get at her, how to get at that woman, and how to get at him. Satan gonna influence that man. He's gonna probably say something in that man's ear. And this is what a lot of people start thinking. If they don't verbally say it, this is what comes to their mind. And tell me if I'm lying. If you don't do it, somebody else will. You all have heard that statement before, right? If you don't do it, someone else will. So the man, he's not getting respect from his woman. So he might start thinking, if you don't do it, somebody else will. Or he actually might tell his woman, if you keep doing that, someone else will treat me better. So the woman, she don't take the man serious. So she keep doing whatever she doing. And guess what? That's a door opener for Satan. The man is not getting no respect. Now, say overall he's a man that following after God, right? He's a general good man because he got God in his life. Then here come a woman or women. His eyes start wandering. You know why his eyes start wandering? Because Satan's saying something in his ear. But he might not be aware of it. Satan may say, look at that woman. Look at that women. Look at them. And then look at that woman at home. Look how nice that woman dressed. You remember, your mind going like this, bro. Remember, remember when you first got with your woman, she used to be very careful how she presented herself, how she made sure she looked very attractive. Now look how she be dressing now. She dressing like she got that bonnet on her head. She always walk around with a house coat. She just don't look, she don't make me attracted to her. So Satan put all this stuff in the man. She don't respect you. She talk down to you like a little boy. She cuss you out. She be all out in the street every other week. She going on girl trips. I ain't got nothing against no girl trips, okay? But she be on her girl trip. She don't do nothing. You go home. She get home before you. The house look like a mess. She might not even be working, but the house look like a mess. All that stuff Satan be putting in this man's mind. And then here come another woman, a woman at work or something like that. The man sitting in the lunchroom or something like that. Then a lady come by And it appears like it just happened. It didn't just happen. It didn't just happen. This woman come by this man. She got her hair fixed up nice. She looking good. Everything looking good. She's banging. And then when I said bang, I mean she banging in her appearance and stuff. So when she comes over, she just started carrying on a conversation with the man. And then he wondered, why is this happening? Why this woman, she looking nice. My wife used to look nice, but she ain't looking nice no more. She don't even care about herself. And this woman doing all this stuff that my wife used to do, but she's not doing no more. This woman respect me. She come around, she have pleasant conversation. She be smiling, she be smelling good, she be dressing good, and we just carry on a good flowing conversation. That's all I feel like I could talk to her about anything. I used to could talk to my wife about everything, but when I start talking, it's stupid to her. It doesn't make no sense. So I don't want to talk to her no more. But with this woman, this is what the man think. But with this woman, our conversation is flowing. It's really flowing. Satan know what you've been missing. So Satan got one of his daughters. She looked good. She's a pretty devil. And he bring this woman up to you. And brother, you start looking at her. And you start gravitating to her. And you want to just open up to her, right? And you find yourself, brother, you going to lunch with her, you going to dinner with her and everything. And then you get to the point you don't drink, but before you go home, Satan say, go by a bar and get you a drink. So you ain't been drinking. So you go by a bar to start drinking to get yourself adjusted to go home to that woman. So you drive up to your home, brother, and you see her car there. And you say, oh, I don't know what's going to happen when I get there. Time you put the key in the door, you don't want her to hear that you are home. You put the key in the door. Time you open the door and put one foot in, she attack you, right? And you start getting tired of it. She walking around you attack. She don't even let you come home to disengage from the world and stuff like that. So you start getting tired of it. And you getting tired of it, and then you start gravitating more to this other woman, right? And the next thing you know, brother, you got an emotional tie to this other woman. Because she respecting you. She have you thinking that you are a man, and any woman should see you for how you are. You a successful man. You're a good man. You're a hard working man. That's what this lady telling you. And how I normally go, I hate to go this route, but how I normally go, y'all get in an isolated place, y'all end up in the bed, and you start pillow talking. And brother, when you start pillow talking, this is what pillow talking is. You going to start not all men, but a lot of men, when you start pillow talking, you start telling this woman some deep things about your likes and dislikes about your wife or the woman you engaged to. You start doing all that kind of stuff, right? So this woman listening to everything you're saying. Not only is this woman listening to what you're saying, Satan is listening. And while Satan is listening, he is whispering to that woman's ear unless one of his demons in there, and they manipulating the lady to appear like you that life raft, you that life jacket. And everything that you tell her that your wife is not doing, she start doing it. Every negative thing that your wife is doing, she don't do it. So what you doing, brother, you giving this other woman a game plan more on how to manipulate you. And while you doing all this stuff, the woman, she probably going to get really soul tied to you. So if this woman start getting real soul tied to you, And then she probably started thinking, I want you for myself. Especially if you and your wife start getting better, and that woman is not going to let you go, because she's going to look at you and say, you're not going to use me. But you were not using her, right? But that's how she's going to take it. And if she takes it that way, she's going to call habit for you. She may start doing a whole lot of lying. And one thing that a lot of these outside women do, they're going to make sure that your wife find out about it. If you call yourself trying to pull away and make it right with your wife, some of these ladies that know you was married, they may want to go tell your wife to mess that up. Because when they tell your wife to mess it up, they think that they can have you then. But what a lot of women doesn't realize, even if she tell the man's wife, that's not no guarantee that the wife gonna leave the husband. That's what a lot of them be thinking. Now, on the flip side of it, where men get no respect and Satan see it, so he manipulating something from the outside. Now the woman, she's getting no love. When I say she's getting no love, she's not getting no attention. The man is not giving her husband, the man that she's engaged to or the man she married to, he's not giving her attention. He used to give her attention. Women love attention, brothers. You got to understand that. Even before, when you was dating her and you was engaged, when you married, she still wants attention. Women love attention. If you don't give your woman attention, someone else will. Someone else will give your woman attention that she craves from you. And you do not want that. What happened? You stop complimenting her. You don't tell her, even though she continues to work hard and keep her appearance and stuff up, you used to tell her how nice she looked. You used to, if you go to work or she go to work or whatever, you used to text her and see how her day going. You used to call her and see how her day going. You used to have date night. You used to have date night, but you don't date no more. You don't compliment her no more. You don't date her no more. You don't do nothing for her no more. You used to do just because things for her. You could be somewhere and you could gonna buy you something, but then you say, I'm gonna get her something. I ain't got to get this. I'm gonna do, if I get me something, I'm gonna get her something too. So you go home with this new shirt and you've been doing something for her. You've been doing something just because you don't do it no more. At nighttime, the bed get cold. You remember, brother, how you used to, when you used to get in the bed with your woman, your wife, and you remember how you used to put your arm around her and cuddle her? You stopped doing that. Night one, she wondering, okay, he must be real tired. Then it started becoming a pattern. She got accustomed to your pattern, but now you don't want to touch her no more. You don't hug her no more. You in the big king side bed, and you cliffhanger. You wait on your side of the bed, and she's in the middle of the bed, and she wondering what's going on. She try to talk to you, but you don't want to talk to her no more. Don't you know one major thing about women? Not only, brothers, but they want attention. They like to talk. They like to communicate. They like to communicate. So you're not giving her attention, and you're not talking to her. Then you don't want to touch her. Like I said, you don't want to hug her. This woman wants to be intimate with you. It's not only a problem for men, it's a problem for women too. Your woman, she come in, your wife, she come on with a little thing from Victoria's Secrets, right? You used to couldn't wait till she wears something like that, but now you yawn when you see it. You tired. You want to finish looking at the football game. It used to be where she come in with the little Victoria's Secret on, and you put them on pause or you record it. But now you said move out the way, move out the way. Then in bed she getting close to you, and you act like you got a headache. So she going out of public. She might go out in the working store. She may go to the grocery store, the convenience store, and then oh boy, he pull up on her and say, "You really look. You a real nice looking lady." And then she do her hair like this while she's smiling, cause she ain't heard it from a long time, but she wanted to hear it from you. Then the man, he just started talking to her. She been craving attention, and you talking to her, but now this other man, he's really talking to her, and he's showing attention. Let's say she at work, just like you was at work. She's at work. This guy started talking to her. He looking nice. He's a successful man. He dressed well. He got a deep ATM in his pocket. And then he starts showing her time, and then he asks her, "Hey, let's go hang out together." At first, she might not say, "No, that's not good," but you have a big argument with her, and you be very respectful. You call her names and stuff. Then this guy come to her at the point where she's vulnerable. Now, brother, you could get vulnerable, but let me tell you something about women. Women, the Bible say that the woman is the weaker vessel. That's what the Bible said. Tony ain't saying it. Don't you know that Satan approached Eve first, when Eve was perfect, before he did Adam? Oh yeah, he will approach a woman. Women are vulnerable, especially if she have problems at home. She feel compelled to talk to someone. So if she's not talking to her girlfriends or her mama, and this guy comes, she's gonna start talking about you. I see it all the time, brother. Your woman is talking to another man, and guess what? She opened up completely to this other man. She tell him things what you doing to her, against her, and not doing. And then the man, he act like he really concerned, but he's not. He's a son of the devil, because the devil sent him there. And he's good at what he does. And he manipulates your woman because she's vulnerable. That's why sometimes when I do consultation, my brother and sister, most of the people that come to me doing consultation are female. And when they have problems with their men, one of the first things I tell most females, I say, do not get around men. And they want to know why I say that. Because I said, sister, you don't realize it, but you're vulnerable right now. And they be vulnerable. And I mean some nice looking women that got themselves together. So, brother, let me tell you something, brother. Just because you don't, another man will. And you got to understand that. And some of you guys, you may be talking to her like nobody don't want you and all that kind of stuff. Somebody wants your woman. Don't ever think, brother, no man don't want your woman. And sister, don't ever think no woman don't want your man. Don't ever think that, my brothers. Don't ever think that, my sister, that no one don't want your mate. As long as Satan keep coming to and fro, someone wants your mate. And the one who ultimately wants your mate is Satan himself. Because Satan wants your soul, brother. He wants your woman's soul. Sister, he wants your soul and he wants your man's soul. He wants to mess up your togetherness. If God brought a man and woman together, and that man and woman is supposed to represent Christ's relationship with the church, Satan gonna come and mess it up. So, brother and sister, if you have a good relationship, some men and women, they're gonna admire your relationship. They're gonna admire it. They might even call you a power couple or something like that, but you're not power. The power is the Lord in your life. So you got this good aura, my brother, and you got this good aura, my sister. But when you start having the confusion, the man is not getting respect, the woman not getting love, and here comes Satan. He comes because you open the doors up. Satan does not kick your doors in. It's just like this. When Satan comes to you, brother, he's coming with that silver platter. He's going to take that top off and say, look good, dine. The same thing, sister, he'll bring a silver platter to you, and he's going to say, taste. Just taste a little bit. That's how Satan does it. And you got to understand it, my brothers. You got to understand it, my sister, that it's bigger than your mate. He or she could be influenced. That's why, brother, you got to be on point when you're in a relationship with a woman. Sister, you got to be on point when it comes to a relationship with a man, your woman. You got to put in the work, my brother, when it comes to a woman. Sister, you got to put in the work when it comes to a man. You can't be lazy when it comes to a relationship. When it comes to a relationship, you never get a day off. So, brother, if you want time off and you want a vacation, you never get off when you say I do to a woman. You never have no time off. That's a commitment 24/7, 7 days a week. The same thing, sister. You can't clock in. Ain't no vacation. You have to work. I can understand you may want to spend time doing your thing. That's understandable. But what I'm actually talking about, my brothers and sisters, you got to have the work. And the work comes the only one that's going to help your relationship to stay together. You're going to have tribulation, my brothers and sisters, in your relationship. The only one that could keep your relationship together is Jesus himself. That's why, my brother and sister, at the beginning of the relationship, you have to have the Lord in your relationship. While you're in a relationship, you got to keep the Lord in your relationship with your free will. And as you go on, my brother and sister, you got to hold on to the Lord unchanging hand. You can't love, brother, you cannot love your woman effectively without Jesus. Sister, you cannot respect your man effectively without Jesus. What did Jesus say? And this he was talking in general, but I'm condensing it down to the relationship between a man and a woman. In the book of John, John 15:5, John 15:5, again, John 15:5, it said, I am the vine, ye are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you cannot do anything. Listen to what Jesus said again in the book of John 15:5. Jesus is talking. Jesus identifying himself. Jesus said, I am the vine, and you are the branches. Because if you look at a tree and stuff like that, my brother, sister, fruits don't grow out off of a branch. It's the vine. So it said the vine. Jesus said, I'm the vine. And Jesus said, if you remain in me, you see, you got to have it. Jesus got to be in you, brother and sister, and you got to be in him. He said, if you remain in me and I in you, that's conditional. Jesus said, if you remain in me and I in you, that means you got to work together. You will bear much fruit. So, brother, in order to bear the fruit of love, you got to have Jesus so you could bear the fruit of love to your woman. And sister, in order to bear the fruit of respect, you have to have a relationship with Jesus. Because Jesus said, apart from me, you cannot do anything. So, my brother and sister, what you need to take away from the dinner table tonight is, look, do not invite Satan into your relationship. There are a lot of you brothers and sisters right now, you don't have no excuses now. You don't have no excuses. You got to be diligent, and you got to make sure that you are alert and sober-minded with your relationship with the Lord and with your relationship, my brother and sister. If you're in a serious, committed, covenant relationship with a man or woman, you have to be alert. And you have to be sober because the devil is watching you. He wants to take your relationship and make you look bad. For those of you Christian brothers and sisters that are together, or you're about to get together, listen to this. The world is watching you. Brother, if you're a Christian and you're in a relationship with a woman and she's a Christian, the world is watching you. God is watching you. Jesus is watching you. The Holy Spirit is in you, watching you. Angels are watching you. And on the flip side of it, Satan is watching you. And those demons are watching you. And not only that, the world is watching you, meaning the flesh. Men and women are watching you. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you are a gazing stock. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you are the light of the world. A light cannot be hid. You understand that, my brother? Sister? A light cannot be hid. So you're going to be shining, brother. You're going to be shining, sister, especially in your relationship. But Satan want to darken your light. So be vigilant, my brother and sister. That's what I need to tell you tonight. Don't invite Satan into your relationship. My brothers and sisters, if there's anything that you want to say at this time and ask a question, just put wait down there and ask the question. That's all you have to do before we depart. If it's something that you need to ask me about or make a comment, put wait and I'll wait. And so you can go ahead and put down what you want to talk about, okay? Or if it's something that you want to say to the other brothers and sisters, by all means, you could put wait and make your comment or your question. If you don't have anything to say right now, my brother and sister, I enjoyed you all coming to the dinner table. Thank you so much for coming, get some of this good food for your soul. Take a carry-out plate and give it to some more family members and friends. Share it with them, okay? If you're on the tube and you're not subscribed, subscribe, okay? If you're on the book, continue to make your comments and enjoy your support. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. You all have a good night. Peace out.